And it all started with this jerk. Well, the JB weld just came off. It's, yeah. Good morning, afternoon. Yes, afternoon. It's past 1 p.m. Last night, or maybe last video for you, I was a little overwhelmed after I removed my surround and my tub. A buddy of mine came over last evening and checked everything out, reassured me that everything is good, and I'm glad. I think I just wanted that second opinion and just to be reassured because I was overwhelmed. And I'll show you why. Alright, so this is where my tub was. As you can see, I've got damper it over here, some baking soda here because leaky basement smell just wasn't cutting it for me. I also ended up pulling out the platform that the tub was kind of resting on, I guess. I just wanted to see everything underneath of it. So as you can see, the wood is pretty dry. There's no issue there. This little square, this is pretty much where the drain was sitting. I was concerned that I just wasn't sure what was going on down here. I thought this was a vapor barrier and that there was wood underneath of that, but that's not the case. This is like a very thick, if you know what it's called, let me know, but it goes the entire length of the trailer just to keep water from splashing up, like obviously on your floor of your trailer when you're going down wet roads and so on. So knowing that there's no wood under that made me feel a lot better. So there's no issue of mold under here, which is great. Obviously, you saw the mouse nest on top of the wheel well. Yeah, the wheel well had been insulated and mice got in there and made a whole nest. There was mouse droppings in that nest. It was a whole disaster, and it kind of smells like mouse in there, which is just disturbing because if you know, you know. It's just not a nice smell. But my friend just suggested spray some spray 9 in there. That's all you can really do. And I mean, I know there are other mouse nests in this trailer. I can bet you almost any amount of money there is, but I can't go ripping down all the walls to find them, so guess I'm just gonna have to live with them as roommates. Anyway, I made sure to put some fresh peanut butter in some of those mouse traps like this one down here. Next order of business is finding a replacement bathtub on Amazon. I have to go take some measurements, so I make sure I get that right. And it has to be a left-hand drain. Yeah. I wanted to get the tub that was like inset completely all the way. I don't know how else to explain it. But I have to get one with this little seat here. And the reason I have to is because under the floor there is a wheel well, so it has to be raised up right here. So yeah, kind of limits my options with that. I do need to get the exact same style. And my surround is still good, except, you know, it did some awkward bending to get it out of there, so my paint peeled here. So once I get it in here, it bubbled a little bit and cracked. So once I get it back in the trailer, I'm just going to sand this and prime and repaint it. Not the whole thing. I'm not doing the whole thing, just the areas that need to be touched up because, yeah, it was fun enough the first time that I'm good for the rest of my life with that. ADD gets me distracted. I was supposed to measure this bad boy, right? Pretty much 3 feet. 36 inches. 36-inch length and approximately 24 inches width. And approximately 13 inches depth. Well, here we go. That's looking like what we're gonna need, eh? I don't know what that little dark square is. Not really sure, but this is the tub. Our measurements, 36, 24, 13. That's the one. That's got to be the one. Looks like my drain assembly is going to get here a bit sooner than my actual tub. August 15th to August 18th. Well, looks like I'm bucket showering for a little while longer. So the bath pan arrived, and I just kind of set it in here to make sure it's going to work. It's not screwed down or anything. I also want to take maybe a marker and kind of line up where I want to drill holes for the screws to go. It looks good. It looks clean. This part down here is definitely a smaller area, I noticed, than my other bathtub. And it's because, for whatever reason, the manufacturer angled the sidewalls of the bathtub inward, if you can see. Literally looks like you'd be standing in a cat litter pan. Yeah, it's smaller in here for sure. Yeah, then of course down here I'm gonna need to drill out the drain. So the old tub was sitting on just kind of this platform underneath. It was just extra support. And as you can see, I completely ripped it out of there. And I'm not gonna reuse this one because it's got long staples going through it. I have extra plywood. I'm just gonna cut a piece sort of like this to fit. Alright, got my new plywood base cut. So it's basically just going to be fitting around where the drain goes here. That way your plumbing and everything. Yeah. Also, thank you to those of you who sent donations to the PayPal recently, because that definitely helped with purchasing the tub. And I know some of you mentioned putting in like a full-size shower pan. Trust me, I would love to. It would just be way more room. But I have the wheel well there, so in order for me to do that, I'd have to remove the wheel well. I'd have to get the tire and the wheel off from underneath, and they're skirting all around it. I just don't have time, unfortunately, for like a custom-made shower pan. I just don't have the time. That is why I decided to go with pretty much the same thing that I had previously, because I know it'll work, and it's the quickest thing that I can do to get in there to replace my tub. Evenings are getting cooler, and it's also getting dark earlier, so the sooner I can get back in there for showers at this point, you know, the better. Alright, well, got my holes pre-drilled so I can screw this into the wall when the time comes. I do like that it's not yellow. Paid an extra $5 for this color. I think it's called Colonial White. The other, sorry, Pearl White maybe. I don't know, I'll let you know. But the other one was called Colonial White and it looked like it was yellowish, so I said nope. Well, it's about 6:30 p.m. I just took a scraper to all of the foam, sticky stuff that was around here. And just going to clean that up and go ahead and spray the whole outside of this down with cleaner, clean it completely so that hopefully it's nice and fresh and clean before I put it back in, fingers crossed, tomorrow. Alright, this is why things take so much longer than they should sometimes. After I put an L bracket on this right here, I put it where it should be. And when I put this tub back in here, I noticed that this back wall had a gap. So then I had to screw a board to the wall because now I'm going to need to screw the tub to the board. There's a bit of a gap here on this end as well, but there was with the last tub too. And with the last tub, it wasn't screwed to the wall on this end, so I'm not worrying about it. No weight is going to be on that end. It's all going to be right here. Yeah. Yep, that's where I'm at. I screw some hardware into the surround right here. You can see my old screw holes in the wall. And that's so that I can run hardware from the faucet along the edge of the tub and up to my water heater. So I might have to have another board right there, of course. Okay. New stand is in. This is just extra support for the bathtub floor. The old one was kind of anchored to the floor because, you know, this rig used to be in motion, but I don't have to worry about doing that with this. I just have to set it in here because It's gonna have the tub on top of it anyway. And now for the thing I'm most nervous about. Drilling a hole in the tub drain. Ugh, I got one shot with this and 2 layers to get through. Well, it's done. My drill kept banging against the side of the bathtub here, so hopefully some Mr. Clean Magic Eraser will get that off. But we have our drain hole. Hallelujah. Magic Eraser's helping. I'm almost there. Still have a little scrubbing to do, but drain is in. Let me show you the drain assembly that I also ordered with this tub. So this stuff, the drain, the flange, and the gasket, I will be using. They sent me this, super cheap. Yeah, super cheap. It's smaller. Let me show you. It's definitely smaller in size to the plumbing that I have, which I know you can get adapters for, but I tried to remove the drain from this. Actually, I had somebody else try it with a pipe wrench, and even with this in a vise, we could not get the drain separated from this here. So not sure if they used this type of glue in here, but it's not coming apart. So I'm taking this to a hardware store and I'm getting this piece minus the drain so that it fits the rest of the plumbing underneath the bathtub. These are the things you run into when you think something's just going to be a quick little job. It's going to end up being a multi-day / maybe a week project for me, but and then throw in days that I work and I can't do any of it, so just have to scrap those days. But we're getting there. As far as I know, the only thing left to do is just put the tub in the bathroom, plumber putty this, hook up the plumbing once I get a new, piece that I have over there, and then put the surround back, rehook up the faucet, and that should be it. Should be. You know, it's funny because knowing now what I know about that drain not coming out of the plumbing, I would have had to have replaced the tub anyway. Do you know why? Because I had to cut this out of the last bathtub. There's no way this pipe was coming off of this drain. And the problem was the gasket, if you remember. So, it wouldn't have been an easy fix. It wouldn't have been an easy fix. Yeah, I had to cut the drain out of this tub because it would not come out of the pipe. So I guess it's a good thing I replaced it anyway. Sometimes we think something's going to be an easy fix. We dig a little deeper and realize not so much. All right, drain is all ready for the plumber's putty. Now it's time to go in town and see if I can get me one of these, minus the drain. Okay, I'm back from town. Nothing can be easy because it turns out this piece that I took out of the camper was just cobbled together by somebody. I'm not sure if the previous owner or somebody else redid the plumbing, but as you can see, they glued a piece of pipe in here. And so I got this piece, which is a match to this. And then I've got this piece here, the end piece that goes on the drain. But obviously it's different than this. Yeah, so I'm going to try to make it work somehow. I don't know, I need to figure it out. This is why I kind of chuckle when people say, oh, it's an easy job, it'll take about a day. I need to install a little piece of pipe to put those two pieces together. And it's not lining up great, but I think it's still going to work. So, yeah. It is yet another day, and just picked this up from Canadian Tire. I'm going to put some of this putty around where the drain's going to go, and then fire the drain in and tighten it up. It's tightened in there with the flange, so I'm just going to remove the leftover plumber's putty, I guess. I have the tub sitting here kind of funny, but just to show you, this is the piece of pipe that was cut to make this work. So this fitting is screwed onto the bottom of the drain. This pipe is going to go into this one. I have to cement it in here. And I also have to cement it down into this one here. Yeah, I've got to cobble it together just like whoever else did. The stuff I'm using is ABS cement. It's the same yellow stuff that you saw on the old gooseneck that I removed. You could tell that whoever did this before used the same stuff. So I need to put a layer of that around here on the female end and just stick that pipe in and give it a twist until it's set. And I guess it dries extremely fast, so I'm going to have to be quick and strategic with this. Oh my gosh, I can't even get this open! Oh no. Vice grips to the rescue. This is what it looks like. It's basically just a yellow ball. I'm just going to go along the inside of that pipe with this and stick the little fitting in. This piece went in well. Next part down here is going to be a little trickier. I have to lay the tub down, get everything lined up and in place, and be real quick with it. Kind of hard to see with the gooseneck in the way, but in behind it is the piece of pipe. Anyway, the ABS cement does not take long to dry, so shortly I'm just going to do a little leak test here. Leak test. You guys are going to be my seeing eyes, hopefully. And I'm going to pour a bucket of water down the drain here. And I guess also the puppy pee pad is going to tell me as well, but here we go. Puppy pee pad. Let's just take this right out of here. Looks dry to me, so that's good news. Passed the leak test. Well, good. Second leak test will be when I actually stand in here to shower. And, you know, my weight is on everything. But, yeah, that's just the plumber's putty. Not too worried about it. I'll get that another day. Now we can move forward with the next step, which is anchoring the tub down and putting the surround in. But not tonight, because it's 8:30 at night. We're on the home stretch. Hopefully this is the last day I'm dealing with this whole thing. All the hard stuff is done. I have the surround right here behind me, and that's the last thing to get installed. And yeah, well, and then of course reinstall the faucet to the tub, but that's pretty much it. Last night I put the screws in to the sides. Not that this tub's really going to go anywhere anyway. You guys know the story about this. The surround's going to be here, and I'm going to put hardware along the bottom of the surround. I need the screws to go into something. There was too much of a gap there before, so yeah, let's get started on getting the surround put in here. I'm going to put some alien tape on the back of this. Stick it to the back wall in the washroom, and then once that's done, I'll just reach around and put some on the side walls here. If in 1994 this foamy sticky stuff worked for them with sticking to the wall, then I'm certain alien tape is going to work, because it's probably 10 times better. Alright, well, the surround is in here, and don't make the same mistake I did. I put all the alien tape on here, and then I opened this up and read, not for use on rough, porous surfaces, not recommended for areas with high moisture levels, such as a bathroom. Oops. Camper doesn't exactly roll down the road. This thing's not going to come flying out at me or anything. It's in here, and I still need to put screws in here, which I'm going to do in a second. This doesn't line up with the holes for my faucet, and I expected that to happen. It's fine. I'm just going to drill through in these two different spots. Same thing for the screw holes for the tankless water heater. They don't line up with the old ones, and that's fine too. Not sure if you can tell on this video, but the tub is a slightly different color than the surround. Does that bother me? No, not at all. I'm not painting anything else anymore. Well, you know, except for this, but you know. Well, here goes nothing. Well, As it turns out, I actually need a larger hole cutter than that, so I'm gonna have to go see what I got. This is not fit yet. I widened up the holes, got the faucet reinstalled, got the water lines reattached here. Just gotta clean up my mess, and then we'll test out the water. There we go. A little bit of air in the lines. Nice to have running water again. I've come to realize pretty quickly that I don't like screw anchors. Is that what these are called? I don't like them. It probably took me way too long to get these screws installed through the screw anchors and into, yeah, it took way too long. But now that it's installed, we can start putting together some of the hardware on here, and we're one step closer. Hot water heater reinstalled. All of the hardware to make it all work. I just tested it out. Hot water heater works. Tested it out, made sure there were no leaks around any of these. I think we're back in action. How's this looking? Finally, we're done. This project took a lot longer than I thought it would. It was also an unexpected project, but learned a few things, which is always good. Learned a little bit about plumbing, still no expert. I've been learning plumbing, learning electrical. You may as well call me the Jill of all trades. The next step is to find out if this tub passes the leak test when I'm in there showering. But will we find out today? No, not today. This is all done now, and I'd love to be able to shower in here pretty much right now, but since the surround is still so nice and dry, I'm gonna go ahead and just clean up this kind of mess. It's like this in a few spots, and it's because I had to remove the surround. So the paint bubbled and cracked in a few places. I'm gonna just sand that down, and I'm gonna end up priming and painting. Not the whole thing, just the spots that need to get done. We all know that takes time, and it takes not just one coat, it takes 2 coats. So hopefully, fingers crossed, next week I can finally shower in my shower. If you made it this far into the video, thank you for keeping me company. I'm going to go ahead and get started on painting this, and I'm not going to bore you with that because if you watched a previous video several months ago maybe, you probably already saw it. So that's going to be it from me here. Hope you're all doing well, hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next. Bye. Man, it just feels nice to have a bathtub and shower in here again, and not a gaping hole with mice running around. Yep. Quick update on the plywood for the diesel heater to run through the window. 3 layers of oil-based paint on both sides. And yeah, it's good to go. It's all hooked up, ready to be used on those cold evenings, and it has been kind of chilly some evenings lately. If you're wondering why the cement board, the hole under here is quite large, I'm just paranoid about the wood getting hot and fires. So yeah.